exercise and perseverance for all of us. So thank you, Sal. Thank you, Amy. Hi, Emery. I'm so happy to see you. We miss you. All here in California, but I know you're really happy to be back home. So for all those also that have been so patient to join us live, thank you. I'm so excited to introduce Emery and her family to you, and for you all to get to know a little bit about them as well. So Emery, I have some questions and for both of you. And I think a lot of times when people are interested in learning about functional neurologic disorders and treatment, they want to know the story, like what was happening for you before you came to re+active. And you can feel free to share as little or as much as you like about what was happening for you.
I can kind of just give an overview, and I'm sure he'll get more into it, but I had gotten sick with like an autoimmune disease, and I got sick and I was just declining a lot, and with all the treatments, like none of the normal ones for autoimmune were working. So then like we went down the path of like FND and everything. We went to Cleveland Clinic, and then that was not good for me. Like it was just a bad situation, and we found you guys and then we went there.
Good. Yeah, what a nice summary of what was probably a lot happening in that time. And what were some of the symptoms that you were experiencing over that time?
When I was in Cleveland, I had more of like tremors, and like when I would try to stand, my full body would just like start jerking uncontrollably.
Pain.
Yeah, pain.
Stomach.
Yeah, stuff. It was just
GI.
Yeah.
I mean, depression. I mean, in general, November 2020 up until when we went to Los Angeles for 2021 was just one big downhill slide. And it seemed like everybody we saw, things got worse and worse and worse. And then right before we learned about re+active, like we're desperate, you know, we had little hope because all the professionals we had worked with, it seemed like just either didn't know or didn't work, you know, and then you're kind of left. It's like, all right, good luck. Go try to find something else, you know?
So hard as a parent and as a kid, Emery, to be on that downhill and just so uncertain about what was to come. And how exactly did you find us?
Oh, I'll answer that question.
Hold on.
Hi.
Look who's here.
Hi, Amy.
During the time just not getting a lot of answers, and when Emery was first diagnosed, I joined an FND support group on Facebook. And someone posted a video of you doing a live talking about how FND is not just a diagnosis of exclusion, that there actually are markers that tell you that you have FND, and this is what it is. And I was just blown away by your presence and how you explained it. And it was just like, I mean, you know, I'm a fangirl anyway, but of you. But you just really, it was like someone heard us, someone knew what we were going through. And I shared it to Sal later that night, and we were just like, wow, you know, this is really impressive. But it's in California, and just, you know, we had already had a plan for one part of treatment, so we continue with our plan, but you were definitely on our radar from that moment forward.
Well, the fangirling is mutual for your whole family, okay? I love you all. And yeah, Emery, I was thinking about that. I mean, that's a big move across the country for to try something new, and especially when you tried some things that didn't really work. I'm sure there were some hesitations to make a trek out there. What were some of the hesitations or questions that you had?
I didn't really have any. I was the one.
Yeah, she was on board.
You were?
Yeah.
She kind of had a sense, like, all right, this is what I want to do. But then, I'm thinking more like logistically. It's all the way across the country. There's financial aspect to it, but fortunately we have a lot of friends and family and some savings and stuff. But logistically it was a tough haul. Like, I have 2 children, right? So who takes care of our oldest daughter, Parker, who's in the corner over here? Yep, there she is.
Hi.
Where are they going to stay, right? We actually looked at Airbnbs that actually declined us because Emery was in a wheelchair. So we had a hard time finding a place to stay. And then, I had to work it out with work so I could work on West Coast hours. So there were just a lot of logistics, but in terms of her barriers, there were none. It was all really for us. Who's going to watch the dogs? Where do they go? Like, all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hear you. I got 2 girls, 2 dogs, all of the same thing. So that's certainly what I think about as a parent. But I think it is important, Emery, that you were like, I'm ready to go, because I do think that is part of getting started, is that you felt ready, right? And you felt, I know through our process, you do a consult and you start to understand what we do. I'm curious, what was it, Emery, that you felt like, I'm ready to do this? What was it about the program that drew you?
I mean, like, just the overall, like, vibe of it, I guess. And I talked to Bella, and, like, she only had great things to say about it. And it's, like, really reassuring, like, knowing someone that went there and had a good experience and, like, we're improving.
Yeah, that's great. The vibe. And I know you became part of the vibe while you were here, which was so great. And now you're home, and just over the course of the program, I'm curious, what changes have you noticed from where you were at the beginning to where you are now?
I mean, like, all over the board. Like, I can do so many things I couldn't before.
Well, when she came in, when she came in, she couldn't sit up, like, without support, right? So she was in a chair, kind of getting propped up on the side here. And then over time, thanks to Michael, Malia, Nioya, Andrea, and Caitlin even, she was able to sit up day 1, and then she took some steps, standing and then walking, and then she's playing spike ball and volleyball. Like, it was just pretty much straight up. We've had a few other, like, side symptoms, so it's really like this, right. But it was amazing. You guys know your stuff. This is like the global center of FND knowledge. We've actually talked to people in Germany about it who've reached out to us saying, in Europe, it's not going well. And they're like, what, how did you do it? So we want to help get the word out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I appreciate, I know we have mutual advocacy, like sharing of knowledge and for people. And yeah, I had such a blast because I would come into the clinic, not every single day. And all of a sudden, yeah, you were sitting, you were standing, you were stepping, you were hula hooping, you were hula dancing. We made a whole Aloha Friday party that you really inspired. So it was really fun to see a lot of those changes over time. And so, Emery, I'm really curious, like, what was some of your favorite things? Let's go through some of the different things. So I know you worked with Michael for physical therapy. What was maybe your favorite thing that you did?
I liked the spike ball, blaze pods, like anything when Mindy came in. I loved it. Yeah.
Mindy.
TikTok.
Of course, the TikTok. You were the master, and you were clearly better than Michael on a lot of the dance moves. Let's not tell Michael. Yeah. So I know that, and you know that one of our big emphasis is that we can do some systematic therapy in a fun way and make it your fun. Not everybody likes TikToks, right? Or spike ball or volleyball. It's so fun to see you do that. How about in occupational therapy? I know you got to work with Malia and Naoya. What were some of the things that you liked to do with them?
We did like shooting drills I liked, and then with Naoya we did dancing, which I liked.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Now Naoya's a very good dancer. Yeah. And Malia too, with her hula background. We have a pretty talented crew. And then you also got to work with our yoga therapist, right, Andrea? What was something that you enjoyed about that?
Like the stretching and the massages.
Yes. Me too. Every time I get to work with Andrea, the same. And I know with our younger folks, we actually work with a pediatric psychologist outside of reactive, but she works with us with our integrated team meetings and things like that. Did you have any take homes from working with the psychologist as well?
Like a lot of coping skills, and like when you get in a funk, like things that I can do to help like better myself and get myself back to like an equilibrium.
That is, don't we all need stuff to help us when we get in a funk? That is brilliant. I love that. I wish I had some of those skills at your age. I feel like I'm just getting those now in my own therapy. So that is really awesome. I'm so thankful you got to work with the whole team. And you know, you mentioned you've already shared with other people about our program. If somebody was on the fence about doing a program like this, what might you tell them?
I mean, just do it. Like, you won't regret it. It's great. Like, it was awesome.
We wish we did it earlier. We wish we found you earlier. You know, we probably could have taken off 4 to 6 months of suffering, but we're glad, you know, we had this outcome. That would be the advice.
Yeah.
It's treatment, like it works.
Yeah.
Period.
That's awesome. And I know I saw recently, like you're back home, you're into things. I saw you were riding horses, right? Yeah, that was so awesome. Tell me about, like, what else are you doing right now?
I've been playing with my friends a lot and like doing activities that I couldn't do before as like part of my therapy, and horseback riding. We have our dogs back here, so I've been playing with them a lot.
Training them.
Yeah, training.
Constant training for dogs, right?
Yeah.
I know. That's awesome. So you're being you know, a lot of the normal things that you would do at your age, which is so great. I'm so happy to hear. And you see it continue. I was actually watching those videos of you on the horse and walking up the steps, like doing some things that were beyond what you even did here at Reactive. And that's really what I like to see, is that it just keeps going that way.
She ran, I think it was yesterday or the day before, you know, she ran from one end of the house to the other, which she hadn't been able to do that. So it's still, you know, we're still getting better.
And that's, you know, that's what we see, that's what we hope for, and that's what's possible too. And I know, you know, you had been, as you said, really articulately kind of like on this downhill, very discouraged, very worried, as many people with FND can feel, particularly when they try something and it doesn't work, and they try something else and it doesn't work. What would you tell somebody, or what would you share for somebody who has felt really discouraged, like this can't get better?
Like, to just keep pushing. Like, it sounds stupid, but like it will get better eventually. You'll find people that work for you, and it's probably reactive.
Well, like, I don't want to go too far on this, but like a part of what I do at work is like process design. And I noticed the process, like it's very structured. Besides the people being great, right? You have this robust intake, and the output is a pie chart that says not only do you have FND, but here are the components. And Emery's was sensory. No one had even mentioned sensory to us prior to going to reactive. And most of the activities that helped her were sensory related. So just that having a command of your area, your expertise, makes all the difference, right? Combined with obviously a great culture and the people.
Yeah. Wow, you just like melted my heart with talk of the pie chart. As you know, I love talking about the pie chart. And it is, that's something that we've developed over the last like 10 years or so. But I've never heard somebody mention it in that way in the processes. And
I am a nerd.
well, from nerd to nerd, I love a good spreadsheet, and I made a spreadsheet that automatically calculates that pie chart. When we're talking to you in that very first consult, we start going, oh, we hear this, we hear that. Let's start, conceptualizing or formulating. Now, it's not pure math because you're a human and we're really, listening to your story. But yeah, that's very insightful that maybe hidden piece of sensory was clearly came out in your story and was such a big part. I know as I saw your treatments, yes, you're hula hooping, yes, you're playing with spike ball and with the blaze pods, but there's a method to that madness, right? There are particular things that we're addressing in that, and thanks for noticing. Now, that also I think we have a similar love of advocacy, and I'm curious, Emery, from your standpoint, and Sal, what message might you want to tell other healthcare providers about FND and therapy for FND?
I mean, like, listen to the patient. Like, you guys were the first people that actually listened to me and heard like what I wanted to do and what helped me and what I felt like didn't work.
Yeah, I think stay engaged in the research, right? Looking back, it looks like a lot of the practices were old, like stale. So stay in what you have here is a culture where it looks like you're consuming information, you're constantly learning and reapplying it to the program. So stay active, adapt, continue to learn. Follow up with your patients. Like, nobody's followed up with us to see how we're doing, but if I did, I would hand them this. So, yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the payroll.
I'd like to add something if I can. As far as therapists, like, it amazed me watching Michael and Malia and how they weren't scared to try something, but they weren't scared to stop if it was not successful.
Right.
Like, that was huge. Like, Michael would look at Emery and say, this isn't very successful. I think we need to shift. And they would agree. And they would shift, and it's okay if it's not successful, but other people would just be like, do it again, do it again, do it again. And that just defeats everyone in the room. So it was amazing to watch, like, okay, let's be vulnerable, let's try things, let's see what her body's going to react to and go from there. I mean, it was a beautiful process. So.
And how fun it was when I got to come out and visit, like, everything.
It's fun.
It was like so entertaining. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel like something like you have to do. It's like, oh, like, I want to do this.
Oh, Will Parker, you want to come out and yes. And Emery, I think, what your mom said there, and even your sister and your dad really started with what you said was listen to that person. It wouldn't have been fun if we just had a protocol that everybody gets balloons to the head and boxing and people hate it, right? Like, listen to you. And that's what we talk about that a lot with other healthcare providers, and our team values that more than anything else in the world. And then that leads us to that ability to actually go, like Amy said, hey, this isn't working. And it leads us to the ability to actually take the research, which has protocols, which has specific things, but then tailor that to the person. Take those theories and neuroscience and evidence and bring that to you, because you know what? They didn't study Emery. You weren't in the research study, right? But you were in this case study of one here where we could apply those things and bring them to you. But I think Emery really said it the best. Just listen, just listen. So happy to hear that. And I feel like you could be, Emery, an infomercial for the courses that we teach on FND, because that's literally step one, is listen. So we'll take your video and put that right up front. So I think, you know, you've shared so much, and thank you so much too. I know it's the evening over there, you're winding down, your whole family is here. I feel just so honored to be with you all. And I'm curious if there's anything else that you want to share with folks before we sign off.
I would just like to say one thing.
He's gonna cry.
No, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. No, you have given my child back. It's wonderful. But I just, like, you have such a great staff, and the people that you've hired and trained, they're amazing. And Michael actually said to everyone one day, like, I lose sleep thinking about what we're gonna do the next day. Like, they care. It's just, it's amazing. They care. Yeah, I'm gonna cry, but it's just wonderful. Okay, that's it.
Yes, pass me the tissues, okay? Because I've been on the, you know, I was able to be on the other side of that, Emery. You know, I would be able to spend extra time, and Chelsea, our FND program director, would spend extra time talking to Malia, talking to Andrea, talking to Michael, like, what else could we do here? What else could help, you know, you in this pathway? And that's where I feel all the privilege in the world to be one small part of this story, much behind the scenes, to be honest. But that's what, you know, Amy, that's what goes into it. It's a whole team. We all come together and problem solve and brainstorm and really try to figure things out, so that even though you've got Michael with you, I think you have really the whole reactive family.
We felt it. We felt the love of everyone.
Everybody. Now I have all these friends on the other side of the country. We got a place, you know, people to hang out and meet. So
we're coming back.
Yeah, we'll be back. Maybe we'll talk to you about that.
Harry Styles.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I could just spend the rest of the night just chatting with you all. So I'm also just so happy to see you, Emery. I know Chelsea is watching, and she's actually out to dinner with Michael right now. So they're watching, cheering you on, and you know, you have all of our cheering squad with you every step of the way as you go forward too. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you too. It's not easy to hop on in front of the world either and share your story. So thank you for your bravery too.
Sorry about the difficulties early.
Oh yeah, well, you know what? That happens almost every time. So we'll just blame Instagram for that. So, and you've got folks here on this live even cheering you on. Olivia, she says she has the same, I lost her comment here. Same feeling about reactive. Their staff is a mutual feeling with all of the patients. Oh, so nice. So thanks again for sharing, all of you. Sal, Emery, Amy, Parker. We got to get the dogs on here maybe next time. But
Yeah.
oh yeah, let's get the dogs.
Yeah, they're coming.
Come here, guys. Oh, they're dirty.
They're dirty. It's raining here. It doesn't rain there.
Oh, hello.
All right.
Are the dogs seen?
That's Kai.
Kai and Marlo.
Marlo. All part of, no wonder you loved having Mindy, the therapy dog, with you, right? Yeah. That's so great. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Have a good night.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.